Today we're going to go back and review inequalities in their graphs. So I've already written out the problems, so you might need to pause the video so that you can write out all the problems. Let me scroll down a little so you can see them all. And then you can, like I said, just pause it. And then there are more on the next pages, so as we go. Before we start the first one, so write an inequality that represents each verbal expression, we want to go over some key terms. Because as you're going to notice, you have a lot of words here. And even though this is review, we may not remember it since we did it months and months ago. So some key terms that are going to be helpful. First off is just the overall language. Sorry about that. If it says is more than or equal to, okay, is more than or equal to, that is going to be an inequality with a greater than or equal to sign and a bar. And then if it's is less than or equal to, is less than or equal to, that'll be a less than or equal to sign with the bar. If it just says is more than, so there's no or equal to, that's just going to be a greater than sign. And then is less than, will be a less than sign. Then some other ones we have is if it says the word product. Product means you are going to use multiplication in order to do the problem. So you're multiplying two things, so you can mark it with parentheses or you can put a dot. If it says quotient, that means it is a dividing problem, so you're going to want to use division. If it says the word sum, or a more than by itself with no is, then that's going to be addition. My pen is being a butt. Sorry, you guys, my pen just ran out. Is more than is going to be addition. Sorry, just misspoke. If it says sum or more than, but not the word is means it's going to have an inequality. No is means it's addition. And then lastly, if it says less than, it means subtraction. So these key terms should help you throughout the homework assignment. And the homework assignment is a little bit lengthy, but you do have quite a bit of time to get it finished. And it is review. All right, so if we switch back over to here now, we see it says x is less than 2. So if we look here, is less than, we see right here, is going to be this inequality sign. So for all of this, it's going to be that inequality sign, and then you basically just bring down the letter. So x is in front, 2 is behind, and that's your answer. Let's try another one. Is greater than or equal to is the same as is more than or equal to, so those are equivalent. So all of this is going to be this symbol here, because greater and more are the same. Bring down the y. Bring down the -5. Okay, so using this checkoff sheet should help us a little bit. Then it says the product of W and 5. So product, we see over here sees multiply. So I know I'm going to multiply two things together. I'm going to multiply whatever comes after. So usually we write 5 times W like that, or you can omit the parentheses, you don't need them. And then it says is more than, so again, using our decoding, is more than, there it is, greater than, and then the number 35. And you don't need to solve it. You could have also written it without the parentheses. You could have also written it with a dot. So either one of those three would be acceptable. Last one of this type. 7 more than k, all right, so there's no is here, so this more than is talking about adding. So 7 more than k would be a 7 plus k. And then is less than or equal to. So if we go back again, is less than or equal to is this inequality sign. So all of these words are just going to be replaced by a less than or equal to sign. And then -4 drops down. And again, it doesn't ask you to solve, it just asks you to write. So doing no solving at all just yet. All right, the next set is going to ask us to test if it's a solution. So on your homework assignment, you'll have an inequality and then they'll give you like an ABC. You're basically going to take these 3 values and you're going to plug them in for the variable. And then you're trying to see if you get a true statement. And let me just talk really briefly about true statement. So a true statement would be like 5 is greater than 2. That is a true statement because 5 is bigger than 2. So 5 is bigger and this is smaller. So that's what it refers to. When it's saying a true statement, it's meaning something like that. So basically plug these in and see how it goes. So we're going to take this -1 and we're going to substitute it right here for m. You're going to notice the m is multiplying by 2. So it's going to be 2 times -1 minus 4. And then bring down the rest of the problem. Now do your algebra. So 2 times -1 is -2. And again, bring down the rest of the problem. These are same signs. We add them, you get -6, greater than or equal to 10. Sometimes we have trouble figuring out which side is supposed to be bigger. So there's a couple ways to think of it. You could think of this as an alligator mouth and it opens towards the bigger one. So if I were going to write it over here, think of it as an alligator mouth that opens to the bigger one. What I've generally done in the past is make it basically like a Mrs. Pac-Man or Mr. Pac-Man, and you want to open towards the bigger number. So is -6 going to be bigger than 10? Negatives are never, so this is going to be no, because it did not give us a true statement. This is not true. -6 is not bigger than 10. And then we go through and do the other two just the same way. So you're welcome to pause it for now and then try the next two on your own, or you can continue to work with me. So here we're going to plug in the same 8 right here. So copy this, but put in an 8. So 2 times 8 minus 4 greater than or equal to 10. 2 times 8 is 16 minus 4 greater than or equal to 10. This is going to give us 12 greater than or equal to 10. Again, if you need to, draw the Pac-Man or the alligator. 12 bigger than 10? Yes. So that is a true statement. And you can get more than one yes or no. There's not just one. So just because we got a yes here doesn't mean we don't have to try the next one. You need to do all 3 parts. Now plug in a 10. 2 times 10 minus 4 greater than or equal to 10. Work it out. So that's 20 minus 4. 20 minus 4 is going to give us 16. 16 greater than or equal to 10. Again, if you have to draw it, 16 is bigger. Yes, it is. And it works something like that. All right. Our next set of examples are going to include graphing. So we're going to just quickly graph these couple of questions. So a couple things for graphing though. We have some rules that we need to just, again, keep in mind. So the first thing is that if you have a greater than sign or a less than sign, it is an open circle when you graph it. If you have it with the bar, it means it's a closed circle, so you'll fill it in. Okay. And so as we go to draw these, that's basically what we want to do. So we're going to put the number that they give us it equal to in the center. Sorry, it's going out of focus a little bit. So I'm going to put 5 here in the middle. I need numbers bigger than 5 on the right, numbers smaller than 5 on the left. So you could go 6 and 7 and 4 and 3. Because it has the bar, it's going to be a solid circle. So I'm going to go right above, I always put it above, you can put it on, right above the 5, and it's saying x is bigger than 5. Another way to think of this is, look at this, it is pointing to the right. So that's telling you the direction of the arrow. This is pointing to the right, so my arrow will point to the right. So it'll look something like that. So let's try another one. So again, we want to place your answer in the center, so -3. You need numbers bigger on the right, smaller on the left. Bigger than -3 though, please be careful because they're negative. -2, -1, those are bigger. And then -4, -5 are smaller. This has a bar. Bar means solid circle, so it's going to be a solid circle on -3. And then again, look at the direction this is pointing. It points to the left. So since it points to the left, that tells me I'm going to go to the left. All right, on the last one, you're going to notice that the x is not first. The x is on the opposite side of our previous 2 examples. That causes a little bit of a problem. So I would recommend rewrite it. If you rewrite it, you're basically just going to copy it, but go the other direction. So you're going to put x first, and then it points to the x, so it points to the x, and then the 7 goes on the other side. So we're going to, again, put our number in the center. So we have this 7, it's going to go in the center. Number's bigger on the right, smaller on the left. So bigger is like 8 and 9. Smaller is 6 and 5. No bar this time. So if we go back up to our list, no bar means open. So I will not be putting a solid bar on here. I will be doing an open circle. And we're going to refer to this one to help us. It's pointing left. So since it points left, we're going to go left. So the pointing trick only works as long as your x is first. So if your x is behind everything, then you need to rewrite it so it goes first, it's in front, and then you would copy the same direction.